Hello children, how are you? I hope that everybody is staying at home fine and safe. This is your Saubhagya madam and I am back with another session of lesson 2, rocks and minerals. What are those children? Rocks and minerals. In our earlier video, we have learned about the igneous rocks and how the rocks are formed. As we know, the earth is completely filled with soil and rocks. Yes, children? And the rocks are present in the different layers of the earth and are also formed because of different reasons. As we have studied in the igneous rocks, those are formed by the lava or the magma which is coming out of the earth's surface. Okay. And in this session, we will learn about the other kind of rocks. Those are nothing but sedimentary rocks. What it is, children? Sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary. 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 Sedimentary rocks. Now children, let us go through the function of how these sedimentary rocks are formed. Okay, first one. These rocks are formed from the older rocks. Means already exist అవుతున్న rocks లోంచి ఈ rocks అనేవి form అవుతా ఉంటాయి. Okay. Second one. They are broken into tiny fragments. See, as the time goes on, day by day, because of the different climatic conditions that we see around us in the atmosphere, everything will wither. Everything will wither, especially the rocks. These rocks, because of the heat, the flow of the water and the cold conditions, because of these different conditions, these rocks are withered and broken down into tiny pieces. Okay, children. So, how the sedimentary rocks are formed? How they are formed? By many number of tiny fragments. Yes. So, all these broken pieces, what happens? When you have floods or overflow of the rivers or lakes, what will happen? The river water or the sea water or the water carries these tiny fragments, and also the wind. See children, you may think how the wind can carry these tiny rocks, but the wind has the capacity to carry away the tiny rocks along with it when it has heavy force. చూడండి కొన్నిసార్లు స్ట్రాంగ్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు వెహికల్స్ కార్స్ పెద్ద పెద్ద ట్రక్స్ కూడా వెళ్ళిపోతుంటాయి. ఈవెన్ ద trees are uprooted. Yes children? Okay. In the same way, the winds carry, or the rains, the winds and rains carry these bits to the rivers, lakes, seas, where they sink to the bottom and form layers. So ఏమవుతుంది, ఒక at a particular point of time, when this process continues to go on, winds are carrying the fragments, the rivers are carrying the fragments, and so on. What happens? They will form into layers, one on the other. Right children? చూడండి, చెత్త పేరుకుపోతూ ఉంటుంది. How the garbage or the dust has been kept inside, like how it is going to form. ఒకదాని మీద ఒకటి ఒకదాని మీద. In the same way, here the tiny bits of fragments which are carried away by the wind and water, what they will form is, they form the layers called as sediments. They will sink into the water, bottom of the water. వాటర్ క్యారీ చేసి నేల మీద పెట్టదు కదా, వాటర్ దాంతో పాటు తీసుకొని వెళ్ళి అల్టిమేట్ గోల్ ఆఫ్ ద వాటర్ ఇస్ టు రీచ్ ద సీస్. Yes, mostly the seas, the oceans, and sometimes the rivers itself or the lakes itself. Yes. So what happens? They sink to the bottom of the seas or rivers or lakes or ponds, and they form layers called as sediments. What are these children? Sediments. Sediments. Okay. So these little bit or tiny bits of rocks are formed into layer by layer by layer called as sediments. So what happens to these layers of the tiny bits of rocks? As the time passes over, it takes millions of years, okay, not in 1 year or 2 years. It takes millions of years to form the rocks, okay. So after millions of years, what happens? ఒకదాని మీద ఒకదాని మీద ఒకదాని మీద ఒకటి పెట్టేసినప్పుడు బరువుకి ఏమైపోతాయి అంటే the lower layers are crushed, ఓకే. చూడండి, కావాలంటే ఒకదాని మీద ఒకదాని మీద ఒకదాని అలా బంచెస్ ఆఫ్ బుక్స్ పెట్టామనుకో, కింద ఉన్న బుక్స్ ఏమైపోతాయి? బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద వెయిట్ ఆఫ్ ద అబవ్ బుక్స్, డెఫినెట్లీ ద లోవర్ layer of books will be torn away, okay. In the same way, here the layers which are at the bottom will be crushed. అంటే ఒకదాని మీద ఒకటి ప్రెషర్ ఎక్కువ పడిపోయి they crush and form these rocks called as sedimentary rocks. Okay children, how the sedimentary rocks are formed? It is happened over millions of years. It takes millions of years to form these sedimentary rocks when the layers of these tiny bits of rocks crush themselves into different stones. Those stones are called as sedimentary rocks. Those rocks are called as sedimentary rocks. Okay, now we will see what are the different types of sedimentary rocks that we generally know. Okay children, okay, what are the examples of these sedimentary rocks? The examples of these sedimentary rocks are sandstone, limestone, shale and conglomerate. Repeat it children. Sandstone, limestone, shale, conglomerates. Sandstone, limestone, shale, conglomerate. Okay, now let us learn about them individually so that you can understand what are these sedimentary rocks and how these sedimentary rocks are formed. Okay children? Okay, so what is this sandstone or how it is formed? Okay, the grains of sand gets compressed and cemented. See children, as I was saying that formation of rocks is not of a single day. It takes many years to form, okay. It takes many years to form. So here what is happening to form the sandstone? Perlo on the sandstone means the stone which is made up of sand, okay. Here the grains of sand gets compressed and cemented. And here what happens? The granules of the sand will come together, close together, and they bind up together or cemented. Cementing means what? It acts as a binding agent between two things. Yes. Here also the sand gets compressed. దగ్గరగా అయిపోయి అలాగే it is cemented means it is forming into different layers. ఒక దగ్గరికి ఇట్లా గట్టిగా అయిపోతుంది. So that is the way in which the sandstones are formed. Okay children, what does they contain? They contain the mineral called as quartz. What is the mineral which is present in the sandstone children? Quartz. 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 Okay. The sandstone contains a mineral called as quartz. The sandstone contains a mineral called as quartz. Very good. In what way the sandstone is used? The sandstone is used again for the construction of buildings. The sandstone is useful in the construction of buildings. Especially children, if you see the perfect example of this sandstone, if you go and visit the Delhi or if you have seen the Red Fort, Errakota, Errakota, which is in Delhi, Red Fort. The Red Fort, the whole building of the Red Fort have been built up by the sandstone. Okay, The nature of the sandstone or the color of the sandstone itself is in dark red color. The sandstone is of dark red color by nature, and here if you observe this red fort, the complete fort is looking very dark reddish cherry reddish color. Okay, so the sandstone is used for construction of buildings, and it also contains the mineral called as quartz. It contains the mineral called as quartz, and it is formed by the cementing or compressing of the grains of sand. మట్టిలోంచి ఫామ్ అయ్యే స్టోన్, మట్టి స్టోన్, simple sandstone. Okay, it is of red in color. It is used for construction of buildings. Okay, children. Okay, another examples of these sedimentary rocks is limestone. What it is, children? Limestone. In Telugu you call it as sunnapu rayi. You call it as sunnapu rayi. So where does this limestone we get from? Okay, so the limestone itself, the name indicates that the limestone contains calcite. The mineral which is present in the limestone is called as calcite. C-A-L-C-I-T-E, calcite. The mineral that contains in the limestone is called calcite, which is a derivative of calcium. This calcite is formed from the calcium. Okay, so how this limestone is formed? The limestone is formed by the shells and the skeletons of tiny sea animals. See children, all the animals contain an exoskeleton, or sorry, a skeleton inside the body. What is this skeleton made up of? The skeleton is made up of calcium. The bones or the skull or the skeleton of all the creatures is made up of the mineral called as calcium. Okay, so when the dead sea animals which contains the skeleton or the shells, children, there are different sea animals which contain the shells. What are those, children? Turtles, yes, they have an outer shell. The fishes or the sharks or the whales, they contain a big, ఏముంటాయి, ముళ్ళులు ఉంటాయి, ఉన్నాయా లేవా? It is having a skeleton inside its body, right? So the shells and the skeletons of tiny sea creatures, when they die, these shells or the skeletons, where they will settle? They will go down and settle under the sea. Yes children, ఎక్కడ? సీ బెడ్ లో, అంటే కింద అడుగు భాగంలో సెటిల్ అయిపోతాయి. సో they die, the shells and skeletons settle down on the sea bed. Once they die, what happens? The skeletons will go down and settle on the sea bed, samudrapu aduguna. Okay, so what happens there? Here also the formation of this limestone is not a very easy or simple process. It also takes millions of years, children. Okay, formation of rocks will take hundreds of millions of years to form. Okay, so the perfect example of the limestone is also, another one is called chalk. CHALK, chalk, suddhamukka. Vinnara? So how this suddhamukka were formed? Just because of the limestone. This chalk is formed from the limestone. And also this limestone is used for making of cement and bricks. This limestone is used in making of cement and bricks. Okay children, so what is this limestone contain, children? The mineral present in the limestone is calcite. Calcite, it is a derivative of calcium. Okay, next one, how it is formed? It is formed by the shells and skeletons of sea animals. It is formed by the shells and skeletons of the sea animals. It takes lot of time, millions of years to form. And one of the limestone is the chalk. One of the limestone is the chalk. And in what way this limestone is used, children? It is used in making cement and bricks. is used in making cement and bricks. So children, now let us go to the other kind of sedimentary rock. It is nothing but shale. Give me a moment, okay? Okay. The next kind of sedimentary rock is nothing but shale. S-H-A-L-E, shale. So the shale is also a kind of sedimentary rock. Shale is also a kind of sedimentary rock. How is this shale formed? This shale is formed when clay and silt hardens. We know this, what is clay and what is silt. If you go to the fields, what kind of mud we can see there, children? We can see the clay and silt. Burada, bankamatti. Burada, bankamatti. Okay. So this clay and silt, when they hardens up, when the water content which is present in this clay or the silt removes or evaporates. So what happens? The mud will become very hard. After that, it goes on and goes on due to the climatic conditions. They will form into hard rocks. They form into hard rocks which are called as shale. Excuse me. The clay and silt, when it's hard enough, they form into a hard rock called as shale. Okay. What is the texture of this shale? It is very soft and smooth. What is the texture of this shale, children? It is very soft and it is very smooth. Chakra soft mud nunchi kada form ayindi. So it is very soft and very smooth to touch. Okay. In what way it is used? The shale. The shale is used in preparation of cement, tiles and bricks. In what way this shale is used, children? It is used in preparation of cement, tiles and bricks. Again, the cement, tiles and bricks are used in the construction industry. Again, these are used in the construction industry. Okay. The shale is made up of clay and silt. The shale is made up of clay and silt. When they harden up, they form the rocks called as shale. Okay. What is the texture? They are very soft and smooth. They are very soft and smooth. And how they are used? They are used in the preparation of cement, tiles and bricks. They are used in the preparation of cement, tiles and bricks. Okay, children, now we'll go to the next kind of sedimentary rock that is called as conglomerate. What it is, children? Conglomerate. Give me a moment, okay? Okay, the next kind of sedimentary rock that we see is conglomerate. C-O-N-G-L-O-M-E-R-A-T-E. Conglomerate. Conglomerate. Well, how is this conglomerate rocks formed? These conglomerate rocks are formed when pebbles cemented together. What are pebbles, children? Pebbles and ఏమిటి? Pebbles means nothing but small rocks. చిన్న రాళ్ళని pebbles అని అంటాం. Okay. When these pebbles come together and bind together, when the pebbles bind or cement together, these conglomerate rocks are formed. Okay. They are formed when lower layers of sediments contains pebbles and sand fused together. ఇవి ఎక్కడ కనిపిస్తాయి ఎక్కువగా? So these are formed and the lower layers of the sediments. In the earlier concept we have learned, like the layers are formed. Yes, children, the layers are formed. These are called as sediments. Seabed లకు వెళ్ళిపోతే there we find more number of sediments. So what happens there? The sediments which contain pebbles and sand, రాళ్ళు ఉండాలి, మట్టి ఉండాలి. చిన్న చిన్న రాళ్ళు ఉండాలి, pebbles and also sand. They fuse together, they combine together, or they cement together to form a bigger rock that is nothing but conglomerate. See children, example, this is just an imaginary conglomerate rock that have been formed. See here, if you see, this is a complete one rock. Inside this, what are there? These are called pebbles. The pebbles, between you have the sand. Okay, between the pebbles you are having the sand. So the sand and pebbles, they compress together, they combine together, and they form a new rock called as conglomerate. What is it children? Conglomerate. The conglomerate are formed when pebbles cemented together. చిన్న చిన్న రాళ్ళు ఒక పెద్ద రాయి కింద ఫామ్ అవుతున్నాయి. ఓకే, దే ఆర్ ఫార్మ్డ్ వెన్ lower layers of sediments contains pebbles and sand fuse together. ఇట్లాగా చక్కగా ఫ్యూజన్ అయిపోతాయి అన్నమాట. ఈ పెబల్స్, ఇది sand. So all these together fuse up and they form a kind of sedimentary rock called as conglomerate. Conglomerate. So children, we have seen the different kinds of sedimentary rocks that are found in the nature. Okay, so what are the different types of sedimentary rocks that we see children? The sandstone, the limestone, shale and conglomerate. Sandstone, limestone, shale and conglomerate. So in all these kinds of sedimentary rocks, we see only one thing. Here, the formation of the sediments, layers of the sediments will broke down or crushed up or fused. కొన్నేమో బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అవడం వల్ల, క్రష్ అవడం వల్ల ఫామ్ అవుతాయి, కొన్ని ఏమైతే ఫ్యూజింగ్ అవుతాయి. The rocks and the sand are fused in the formation of the conglomerates, right children? So in all these sedimentary rocks, the name itself is showing that they are formed from the sediments, remainings or sediments. And the limestone is formed by the skulls and skeletons of the dead sea creatures. Okay children? So these sedimentary rocks are also very ancient rocks which are formed because of the pressure differences, climatic conditions, and also the formation of the sediments which are broken down. See, there are different things like rocks and sand. All these together, they combinedly form these sedimentary rocks. The examples of the sedimentary rocks are, what are those children? Sandstone, limestone, shale, conglomerate. Sandstone, limestone, shale and conglomerate. So children, that's all for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. So children, learning about the rocks is not so easy, or the formation of rocks have not been done in a single day. It takes lots and lots of time, like it takes millions of years. It has not just formed in a single day. But all the sedimentary rocks or igneous rocks or the metamorphic rocks, all these are being used by the man in different ways. Here the sedimentary rocks are mostly used in the building industry for the preparation of the cement or preparation of the tiles or preparation of the bricks. Yes children, the limestone. So all these rocks are used in different areas, like to build the buildings. Yes children? Okay, so children, after listening to this video completely, do take out your textbook and read the segment of the sedimentary rocks, so that you will also practice the way how to read the textbook, and you will also find the hard words so that you can spell them very easily. I have given many spellings here children. and also I have pronounced them for you. So please you also practice the same way of pronunciation to read. Okay. And next we will meet in the next video very soon, and we will learn about the other kind of rocks. Until then, please stay home, stay safe children. Thank you.